Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the last episode here at the Sticks and Bones podcast of the season. Hi, Dr. K. How are you feeling? It's our last episode.
It's our last episode, and I'm excited because normally, at the end of every season, we usually, reflect, favorite episode, all of that kind of stuff. But as you can tell from the title, Sticks and Bones is here to stand on business today. Before we descend back into the underworld to brush up on our research and go to bed and take a nap, we're here to, just talk about what's going on, reflect in a different way. And I'm excited for Sticks and Bones today. How about you?
I'm really excited. I think justice will be served here at Six of Bones Temple today. I do have my look at my cute little snowman mug. I got him
He's so
for
cute.
$4.
What a steal. What a bargain.
What is yellow? So we're kind of spilling some tea a little bit, some light tea, some, not no drama. It's just kind of like what's going on? What have we noticed this past year? Dr. K and I have actually made some questions that I'm going to pick out of a bowl that are very vague topics around maybe like, what's been going on this past year, maybe a specific god, maybe a specific subject, and we're just gonna say something, whether it be controversial or like, something that just needs to be said. Um, we are going to have a little bit of fun with it today because we've had a really, really long year. And I don't want to give anything away because I know a lot of it is in these little pieces of paper of little droplets of truth in here of what are the girls cooking up in this episode today? Because this is unlike anything you guys have probably ever seen from us.
Now, gather around for some pearls of wisdom, if you will. It's a little light, a little lukewarm, but if you like LaCroix and you can taste the flavor, then you know what's there and you know what's happening.
Yeah, this is for those of you that get it. You know what I mean? You get it. No, we just thought it was fun and we were like, how can we I don't want to sit here and like reflect. What was my favorite episode this year? Like, do you guys really care what my favorite episode was? It's one of the questions. We could talk about it for a minute and move on, but like, I wanna talk about like maybe some things we've learned. What are we excited for next year? What are we doing? And we have some other like fun little questions I'm gonna ask in there. So it's gonna be
I'm
an
so
exciting episode. I'm kind of nervous.
I'm just I think it's so fun to like do it like around like a break and then just drop a smoke bomb and poof, gone. Gone.
Well, usually by the time we get to the end of this year, we're usually so burnt out. Like I didn't even do my own podcast last week because I just like I could not get on a podcast and record anymore and speak between Black Friday, our mystery boxes. I'm like, I truly do not want to record another podcast episode. And that's kind of when you need to take a break when you are not excited anymore
Yeah.
to do something. And we do this because we love to do it. So I always want to make sure, like, that's why we plan this episode to be this way. So it'll be a little bit of fun times. Like, what are the girls going to say? What's going to come out of their mouth today? Because we're kind of being a little unfiltered. I know we get held to a higher standard because we run a temple. You're a doctor, and I literally am a high priestess. Like we sometimes have to take the high road, but in this episode, we got the green light to maybe we can be a little petty sometimes,
Ooh,
professional petty, as we like to call it here at the temple.
professionally petty because these
Yeah,
hands are rated E for everyone.
that's right. And I got God, anime, and Hermes on my side. I love that sound. I got God and anime on my side.
And when you run like Naruto, you get that nice wind resistance.
I know. Well, I'm excited to start. But before we start, one question to
Oh
begin,
no.
because it's not in here, but
Okay. I didn't prep for this.
what is something that you are excited about that is not Sticks and Bones related? Because we are going to get into some Sticks and Bones related things. But like, is there anything that you're excited about? Period. Like, just to start off on a light note, like for this holiday season, is there anything you're excited about? I know we're going to talk about our plans and things like that, but
What am I excited
maybe
about
about the
for this?
season. I don't know.
Non-sticks and bones.
Yeah, you're not excited about anything about the winter season?
I am excited to actually just sit and relax.
Yeah, what are we
And
gonna do on our time off?
like
Like,
literally just be a hermit. And I know when we're filming this, it's the weekend before Thanksgiving, but me and Kevin just put up all of our like holiday
mhm.
decorations, the tree and everything. And I know I had talked to like you and Kevin about this, but because we felt so rushed this Halloween with the wedding and everything, I am honest to God just looking forward to stopping and looking around me this year.
Mhm.
Like, I am so excited to turn everything off and just come back to myself, my husband, my family, all of that kind of stuff. And like, it's not much, but that is really what I'm looking forward to. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, it
It's,
makes sense. It's been a busy
it's,
year.
it's been a busy year. And then, like, as everybody knows here, literally from like August 1st to like the second week of December, Sticks and Bones is like on fire. So I'm really looking forward to just being like, all right, catch y'all in January. But what about you? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I wish I can say I'm taking a break. I am going to be taking a break over the holiday season, but I am working on actually getting one of my books published. So I have a lot of book proposals to write, research to do, and honestly, like in my downtime is the only time I have to do it because we're coming out swinging in January. Like we have a lot of stuff planned. So I'm like, in my downtime, I'm just gonna lock myself in my house with all of my theories about I am working on a book. I'm not gonna tell you what guy, I'm not saying anything because I believe in the evil eye, but I'm writing something and I'm looking to get it published. So I have a lot to do, but I'm very excited about it. So I don't want it to seem like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to do this. I'm excited, but it's just kind of like
It's a
jarring when you
process.
have so much to do and you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to like make moves in your own personal career as well. Very grateful for like a lot of the work that we do, but it is a ton of work sometimes. But listen, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. So if those of you are like me, where you can only have a small little break over the holidays and you have to get back to it, think of it as like, you know what? I'm lucky that I have something to work on. I am making better moves for myself. So
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like I have like 48 hours of cool down time, and then I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, like that's
I'm like
it.
itching to go back.
Dude, that's it.
Like it makes perfect sense and it's perfect timing. I have to get ready for a conference I have not prepared for in January.
So, oh yeah, like and this
I'm
this is
behind.
this is coming to me because like I do a lot of readings and I did a reading on myself for like the first time in a long time and one of the messages that I got was, which I'll share, is when rest is given to you, it's a gift and make sure you take it. Because sometimes when rest is given to me, I'm like, who's slowing me down? I need to get back up. I start like punching air. I don't know how to relax. And we say
Yeah,
this all the time, like every episode, but when rest is given to you, take it because it means that something busy is coming for you and you need that rest. So I have to listen to my own, like, the
no,
spirits that walk with me that give me these messages of like, you idiot, take the rest. Like, we're going to smack you over the head next time.
I know. I'm like, do you ever have to like almost like implant days for rest? Of like, okay, well, let me open up my schedule
Yes.
and be like, well, I could force an hour of rest here.
Yes.
Um,
I had a plan yesterday as a rest day after we filmed Ithaca for book club. I was like, and the second half of the day, after you read 20 chapters because you neglected to keep up, you need to rest. Like me doing like power hour to like get to the finish line for book club. It was a good book, by the way. We just posted that on Patreon. It's an
yes.
excellent book.
Yeah, I know this week coming up with like Thanksgiving and like Black Friday, I'm like, okay, if I can like I'll work really hard those days and then as long as I hit like the December 1st deadline for my publication and then like the December 15th deadline for like the conference presentation, I'm good. I'm golden. Like
We just we're just gals getting by. But all right, should
getting
we,
by.
since you
Yes.
guys are getting us in our most unfiltered, burnt out version of ourselves, so like this episode is going to be a little wild. So just hold on tight. Because High Priestess Chelsea here, aka me, has some exciting questions to ask
I only know some of the questions
podcast
because
today.
you said that you put in some
I was
extras. So
inspired. I had some divine inspiration to add in some more
I'm
questions.
not prepared for the trick questions. This feels like my oral exams all over again.
I know. I was like, I was gonna tell you what questions I added in, but I'm like, no, no, no. Like, because I have to get like an unfiltered answer.
Great. I'm gonna have PTSD war flashbacks from my oral exam.
Yep. Okay, are you guys ready? I'm mixing over here. So this is all about 2024. We cannot go back into the past. It has to be the year 2024. We're answering these questions in do or die. We are on the hot seat for these questions.
Come on, a question I know. Come on, a question I prepared for.
Oh my God, starting off strong. what grinds your gears or something that grinded your gear this year, 2024? It could be at Sticks and Bones, or it could be something like that happened. And for those of you that are listening to us, maybe think about what grinded your gears this year. What grinds your gears? Maybe we'll do Sticks and Bones edition.
Sticks and Bones. Okay, I'll
I
go
think it
sticks.
has to be Sticks and Bones edition
I was
to make
like,
it
God, there's
really weird.
been a lot that grind my gears that I need like WD-40 or something. But
I gotta
ooh,
think about this.
I know. Yeah, give me a minute.
What grinds your gears?
I
Or
know.
something that really grinded your gears.
I mean, there's a lot, but I'm trying to think because I don't want to like come out like too strong because if you pull another similar kind of topic that I know
I
is
know what you're
in there,
talking about, which we can't say
I don't
yet.
want to
Yeah.
just like boom.
Okay. So we're starting off really strong and
We
maybe not.
are. I didn't expect us to come off this strong.
I
Okay.
didn't expect it either. I was gonna be like, and what are your plans this holiday season? No, it's like, what grinds your gears?
What is your favorite podcast? What do you not like? Oh, okay. I'll start off with one because it sticks and bones, but it's also like personal as well, since there's like a lot of like overlap and everything. I think one thing that I've seen like really grind my gears, and of course it's like it's a lot less than like you will always like pick out like the bad more than like the good and everything, and everybody be like, oh well, like this great thing
Mhm.
happened. Yeah. But like let's talk about the bad things. So one thing that really grinds my gears, and I would love to do a study on this, is why don't people trust professionals?
That is a very big thing. It's not even like in our world, it's all
No.
over online where people are not listening to people that actually specialize in certain things and are saying, but and it's like, but that was the wrong answer. So
Yeah, no,
it's
it's absolutely crazy, and it's something that like I have also seen like this semester as well teaching. Um so because it's like I'm seeing it kind of like in the academic standpoint and then like on like social media and everything. It is really interesting. I don't know if it's something different this year, if something's in the water or what, but like yeah, something that I see really grinding my gears is like they will people will rather listen to like a literal cockroach rather than somebody who has any sort of professional training, credentials, certificate, like anything of anybody. They would rather go listen to Earl and his theories rather than somebody who's telling you, hey, no, this is not correct.
You know, we have seen that here a lot in our temple, and I also see that a lot in the like nutrition community or people that
Yes.
study like gut health was going on was literally making its rounds throughout. And it was coming across my For You page. I'm like, I'm not into like I eat healthy, but I'm not like a nutrition person where I'm counting
No.
my macros and like if I want it, I'm just gonna have it in moderation. That's how I live my life. I can't.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
bless the gods bless the people that like really study nutrition. But it's weird, and I think it's like a phenomenon happening online because everyone has access to like the internet, to TikTok and things like that, and it's very easy to just like create a platform.
Yes.
So yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I see that everywhere. And yeah, we have been experiencing that as well, which is like, okay, like whatever.
Yeah, it's really weird of like, yeah, why are we not listening to professionals or like people coming up and it's like if I say something of like, oh, the sky's blue, user 52575 comes up and goes, the sky is blue, and they're praised. And it's like, what are we doing here?
I
But
don't know.
what's ground your gears this year?
I would say that people that try to take down the work that I do because they think I'm doing it to be cool, or
Oh, okay. I was like, what's
like
wrong?
that I'm doing it for an aesthetic. Like I get a lot of the time, and I
Weird.
understand the skepticism of people when I come online and I say, "Hi, I'm a high priestess Chelsea. I'm a high priestess to King Hades," because we actually don't have any evidence of women being priestesses to him in the ancient world. So like I understand this. I
Hmm.
get it. But I think my work, I don't think, I know my work backs up a lot of the things that I say where I provide free education. I literally do run a temple. And I don't like when people try to discredit me online or because I'm a woman and I'm speaking about something educational, that automatically I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know what I'm talking about, or I have to be challenged. And
Yeah.
it just is really hard sometimes being a woman online, especially in spiritual spaces, because you do have people that are scam artists and con artists. And,
Yeah.
I know what I'm up against. I understand. Like, and you should approach everybody with some skepticism. But I think it's funny how ours are kind of like very similar in a different way of
Yeah.
like look at what people are doing and like how they're speaking about certain things, like I don't just say I'm a high priestess for fun or because I think it's cool. Like this is my whole entire life that I have dedicated to, and the work's
Yeah.
just going to get much better here from Styx and Bones. So I'm so excited about that. But like it is a
Yeah,
lot sometimes. Like it does grind my gears.
yeah, the aesthetic thing I think is also very interesting as well to see that. I mean, I even to see it in like the historian side, archaeology side of like, oh, you're just doing this for the aesthetics.
I
What
wish.
about working in 120 degrees is for aesthetics? Like, or not trusting the
Yeah.
work that you're doing, and it's like, oh, well, so and so does it better. Okay, go to them. Or I've had people come up and cite my own work to me.
Yeah, it's like a
It's like,
weird phenomenon. And maybe you guys don't realize it as much because I know you just tune into us every week. And like these are just things that we notice. Like we've
mm-hmm.
been around the block. We've been online for a very long time.
Yeah.
This is my fourth year being online, like talking about things. It might have not have always been about ancient Greek religion. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't just sit here and dedicate my whole life to the god of the underworld in servitude for the aesthetic. Like there is no aesthetic about that. That is a very serious thing. Um, and I've
Yeah.
talked about it here on the podcast, so I'm not even gonna go into it any further. But
Yeah. All right.
next one.
These have ground our gears. Gung gung.
Yeah, maybe, some things maybe you guys don't know about us. It's like we do notice those weird things. Oh gosh.
Oh God, is it another like big swinger that you just are just like, ooh, another one?
Yeah.
Jesus. All right.
Should I do it or should I put it back?
What is it?
We have to do it. Come on, we have to stand on this. Spill a piece of tea, ancient or from Sticks and Bones.
Spill a piece of tea, ancient or sticks and bones. Ooh.
Spill a piece of tea. Do we have any tea this year? Um, a lot of things are lining up to one piece of paper in here that I
They are. All roads lead to Rome. God damn. A piece of tea.
A piece of tea. It could be about something coming out next year. Like it doesn't have to be anything bad. Like we don't have to spill the tea on anything bad. Like, listen, we're two girls with secrets. You know what I'm saying? We sit on them. Secrets are power. I don't know if I want to give away all my secrets,
I
but
know. I
spill a piece
know.
of tea. Do you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
I'm gonna spill a piece of tea about something that is coming out in the new year. We are potentially doing something around Aphrodite and Aries
Oh,
in
I
the
was
new
like, what
year
are we
in the
doing?
temple. Yeah, you were like, what is it?
What are we doing?
We have something coming out around Aphrodite and Aries. I don't want to give away too much, but like for those of you that are like Aphrodite people like myself, and you're like, oh, I'm sad you only have her in the summertime. We are doing something very interesting coming out in the temple. So I will spill that piece of tea, a little sneak peek. Because I want to save my other tea. I'm gonna save my tea. Like I feel like I'm like one on those comedy
Ooh,
shows where
ooh,
like
ooh. I will. Okay,
I'm
I'll
gonna
do
save my
this.
tea.
I have a lot of tea, but I will give you a little something that I think is hysterical, and I don't think people, listeners, understand this.
Is
So
it ancient or is it about us?
it's about us, but
Oh God,
ancient.
what is
It's
it?
it's about us, but it's ancient as well. Okay,
Okay, okay,
here's the
okay.
tea. With me and High Priestess Chelsea, let's talk the classics, people. The
Yes, the classics
classic,
people. Yo,
the,
you tell. It's your story.
the classics people who studied classics and everything, literature, language, all that kind of stuff. They, for some reason, despise me. I
Yes.
don't know why. We're all working in the same context, archaeological sites, everything.
They don't like
They,
you
for some
online.
reason, do not like me.
They've
I
shunned
do
you.
not. They've shunned me, and I don't know if it's because of the long-standing war that archaeology has with classics. Like
Yeah,
it's the lines have been drawn,
I
but
understand.
the classics, good for them, flock to Chelsea.
They love me. I'm queen of the classics people. They
and
love me and I love them. And I say,
and
come over
maybe it's because of the lines of archaeology and classics.
here. It
I
is.
don't know, but I
That's some
welcome the
good tea.
classics.
That's some good tea.
That's some good tea. I welcome the classics. I adore the classics. I personally, as an archaeologist, wish I had a language that I could read. Unfortunately, I don't. I have to go to Egypt if I want that. But the classics, what's good? What is good classics?
I on behalf since I'm queen of the classics people, I'm going to make a statement on behalf of my people. Dr. K is allowed. We are giving her a pass. She is allowed to be a part of our club. Actually, I have to say, the classics people make me want to go back to college. Like really, they are
Some
so
of them.
passionate about they like me, I like them. I got no beef. This is you have beef with Dr. K, you don't have beef with me. I they make me want to go back to school, and like I wish I would have majored in something like that. And every time I see them, I'm like, they're just a very passionate group of
They
people, and
are.
they
You
do
got to
love
be.
my content. So kisses to the classics. Love you
You,
guys.
I feel
Hearts.
like for somebody who studies the ancient world classics, archaeology, ancient history, you have to love the dead language, the dead world. But
Yes.
it's even funny because to those listening, the artist who rebranded Sticks and Bones and everything is archaeology as well. And two, notices the lines being drawn
It's
with her
so weird.
with her
Maybe I can
classic
bring
colleagues.
peace. I can bring peace.
Peace
I'm
to
I'm
my new empire.
I'm
Your
standing in the
new
middle. Hey guys, it's okay. I don't know
Miss
how I fit in the mix here, but like, hey,
Make classics and archaeology come together 2025. You heard it
yeah,
here first, folks.
you heard
But
it here
that
first.
is some tea. I don't know if you guys realize that, but like
It's
it's
good
something
tea.
that Chelsea and I like really picked up on this year of like what
No, it's good tea. Okay.
that's I didn't want to spill anything too scalding. I had a
Me too. No, sometimes we got to keep our secrets. I'm
um
like, do I just be messy today or do I not? No, sorry. Like, you think this is messy for me. Like, I don't really, I sit in my house unbothered and play video games and do my job. Like, I don't talk to people. I just simply, it's just me and my cat and have a good day.
watch it be another big one.
No, it's not. It's actually a good one.
Okay.
We needed a break from the scalding hot takes here. Okay, next question. What are you looking forward to next year for Sticks and Bones?
What am I looking forward to next year in Sticks and Bones for the podcast and Temple? The
Everything else we do.
the wider breadth of everything Greek mythology, everything Greek god, everything ancient history, like the breadth that it is going to expand to is something I am so looking forward to because it's just our creativity is just going to shoot to the top. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. The gates have been opened.
I am so excited. Hail King Zeus and Queen Hera because the Olympians are coming to the temple next year. You heard it here first. Spilling the tea. What do you mean by that? Well, if you guys don't know, we are strictly really a temple to Hades, Persephone, Hecate, and Hermes. But as you know, in the ancient world, King Hades is not really worshipped, not worshipped at all. Really, his wife is, and those other gods are. But we're missing a whole subset of ancient Greek religion, which are the Olympians. And
Mm-hmm.
so we kicked it off a little bit of a I don't know if you guys caught that with our mystery boxes. We are the Olympians have entered the chat. So like I'm very excited. We've already started to plan some ideas like for Athena, for Artemis, like we have stuff coming. So I'm excited for that next year because while I do love the underworld, it's not the main focus of ancient Greek religion.
No, it's not. And I think to kind of like gather more devotees, you got to open it up to the wider audience and everything. I
Yeah, we're
mean,
excited.
damn, Percy Jackson really painted Hades as like the villain. So like we gotta open and start spreading the good news.
All right, you ready for the next one? I'm so scared by these things.
Stop picking hard hitters.
It's not my fault. I'm just intuitively doing it like I would divination. Okay. Books is just the topic.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't remember why we had this topic.
Yeah, the note that I sent you, I didn't expand, and that's on me.
I
But
think that's fine because I kind of like that it's vague because I know what I'm going to say for this one. So, but you go first.
gotcha. We get a lot of questions each and every year about like books of ancient Greek religion, Greek mythology, retellings, yada yada. And great. Hi, welcome to Sticks and Bones. There's so much out there, especially with ancient Greek religion. It's such a massive like umbrella term and everything, but all of these scholars out there, and yes, including the classics, have done
We love
incredible
you.
have done incredible work, really breaking apart all of these little parts of daily life, religion, religious like ideas, philosophy, all of that kind of stuff, and how everything works together in the ancient world. But with books as well, we often get, I know a lot of like forms, emails about, hey, do you recommend X book by so and so? And the answer is, and I'm going to say something that I always tell my students with one of their assignments at the beginning of the semester is look up the author. Where did they go to school? What do they specialize in? Do they have publications? Are they knowledgeable? Should we trust them? And I think that's the biggest thing is it comes down to is should we trust them? So for one of them, they have to look up a scholar who talks about color on statues in the ancient world. Should we trust this person? Where'd she go? What does she focus on? Has she been
Mhm.
published? What does she teach? Blah, blah, blah. Because I think so often, like in the publishing world, anybody can publish. And that's the beauty of publishing in the book sphere. But when we get onto historical topics that really should be fact based, why should I read your book? Who are you? And I
Right.
think maybe people should start asking themselves that. So we will only ever recommend books by scholars because we've had some pretty crazy emails about,
There are no books on Hades I recommend. I'm just gonna
yeah.
say that. There
There
are he is the god of the underworld. He was not
there's
worshipped in ancient Greek
there's no
religion.
books.
There's
There's
no
no
books
books
on
on
him
him.
at all. And there's a reason why, like, we're not even ever going to write a book on Hades because there's nothing to write. Like, if we were to do anything, it would to look at it as a whole. But, like, he was not a god that was worshipped in ancient Greek religion. And so, sure, in modern day, people are interested in Hades and Persephone, but still, we have to respect the fact that we don't call on him. We don't use him for money spells. Like he's not really a god of wealth. The ancients were not viewing him like that. They were afraid to utter his name.
Mm-hmm.
And the only time you'd ever see Hades was if you were, going to the underworld and you better have your coin. So yeah, we got a lot of questions around that. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Oh, go.
speaking on the books topics,
Yeah.
we have to be careful with what people are saying because if it's not based in scholarship and archaeology and history, it's not how that god is worshipped. Sure, we can modernize things to a certain extent, like, okay, I can't make an animal sacrifice. That's not something I want to do. But the ancients also were leaving food. They were doing other things. They were
Yeah.
saying prayers. So that's what we mean by modernization and a little bit of reconstruction. It's not just take things and do what I want, especially with Hades, because of just who he was to the ancient world. So,
Yeah, if somebody is writing about the ancient world, about, how gods were worshipped or anything like that, dare I say, I'll stand on business with this. You need to have some sort of specialization to back up what you're saying. Like,
for sure, like if I were to write a book on Hades, just because I'm a high priestess is not enough. I would need a scholar to either peer review it, look at it, endorse me,
and
right?
and there's the whole thing is a lot of these books that, are coming out that are supposed to be like the book on whatever god, whatever. Where's the peer review? And
Right.
I
They're
think
not
that's
being peer review.
they're not being peer reviewed, and that's a little bit of a red flag. I mean, I just got my peer reviews back from my publication. Like, it needs to be done. That's how scholarship works. And if you're
Hmm.
not using scholarship, hopes and dreams and your thoughts are not enough. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's one of the issues with the spiritual spaces and books. And this is something that I have thought about heavily because, I also know a folk practice and sometimes folk practice can't be peer reviewed because it's passed down through family and like things like that. But a lot of the spiritual books that you see that are being published are not peer reviewed by anybody. And sure, some
Mm-hmm.
things with magic, like, okay, folk practice. But when it comes to ancient gods, like no matter if it's in ancient Greek religion or the pagan world, like Norse paganism, you need to have someone peer reviewing that's a scholar that studies that specific thing so that it's not, and we're going to get to this at another point, it's not bad to have someone peer review your work. It just gives that more of approval of like, yes, this person does know what they're talking about. They might not have, specialized in it in school. They might have taken up a fascination with it, but you do need like
Stamp of
a
approval.
stamp. So that's
Yeah.
where we sit with books, and we're never going to recommend a book to you that is not either from the ancient worlds, like we have Homer and Hesiod in our store, or from a scholar. So that's where we stand on with books. Hopefully we don't get any more questions about books. If we don't sell it, we're not into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, next. We're not
Classical.
selling it. Okay, let's see here. Um, Hopefully this one's a good one. I was also gonna say with books too, I've really been enjoying book club.
Oh my God. It's been so fun
It's been
thus
so
far.
fun.
I'm
Okay,
scared.
that's where I was gonna go with that. I was like, okay, my thing's gonna be book club. I've really been enjoying Patreon book club. It's gotten me to read a lot more. And it's making me re-love Greek mythology all over again, even though it's retelling. So
Yes.
okay. Hear me out. Dot dot dot.
Shit.
Hear me out.
Shit.
I I'm gonna stand on this one. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you stand on business. I'll hold you up. What do you want to stand on?
I'm standing on business with Zeus today.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're taking that route. I'm right there with you.
The king gets so much backlash. I've had people, and this is a very valid question. I think I've talked about it in another podcast episode. Be afraid to worship Zeus because of his mythology. And I'm like, hear me out. Mythology is not fact. And that's okay, but like it doesn't mean that it's real. You know what I mean? Like it is a way of how the ancient people were explaining their worlds and how
Yes.
men were acting in that society. So Zeus, who is a king of gods, is going to be this like, player. He's going to come down, he's going to schmooze with the pretty high-ranking mortal women. And yes, high-ranking, they're only associating with beings that are of divine right, nymphs, power, beautiful Helen of Troy, right? Literally Zeus's daughter. Zeus, I'm tired of the Zeus slander. He deserves better. He did save his whole entire family from Kronos, and he is responsible for balance and order within our sphere of religion. So I'm out here riding for Zeus as a woman, and I cannot excuse the cheating on Hera. I won't, but mythology also isn't real.
Mythology, dare I say, was written by man.
Yeah, so it's okay for you to like want to worship Zeus or like Zeus. Like people make it like it's you're some sort of pariah if you want to do those things. Like the ancients revered him. He was like so revered
He
in the
was
ancient
number
world.
one. Like he
Right,
is
he's
their
king of the
boy.
gods. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're fun stories, but it's also very much a way to explain what's going on, how certain things are created, but also like you can't like just cherry pick certain things.
Well, you know why I'm saying this? We ran a poll on Styx and Bones Temple with our mystery boxes, and I said, who would you rather
Ooh,
feast with? The
yes.
Olympians, King Zeus, or the underworld, which is the chthonic gods? An
Let me guess.
overwhelming
Chthonic.
pick was for the chthonic, and I almost fell off my chair. Like I know why I picked the chthonic. Like I probably have to go there. I'm sentenced. But I was like,
RSVP, yes.
I really hope we can dispel some information and maybe help you guys fall in love a little bit more with the Olympians because the chthonics are like the main focus of the world right now, and they were not the main focus in ancient Greek religion. And so they're not the main focus in my practice. And so I can't wait for next year when we start talking more about the Olympians because I think it'll expand your eyes to like how the religion actually works. You know,
Yes. This is hear me out.
hear me out.
Hear me out. The ancient Greeks didn't use the Greek magical papyri.
Right. And we did a whole podcast episode on that one.
Hear me out.
Hear me out. Hear me roar.
Hear me out. This is from late antiquity.
Hear me
Enough.
out. Put the book down. Don't waste your time or your money unless you know what you're doing. It's
Also,
okay.
it's not like a spell book like we're in Harry Potter. I'm so sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but man, you mentioned the Greek magical papyri, and people come out of the woodwork and say, I've been practicing for X years, or I'm this great wizard or witch, and I need help with it. No, you don't.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing with that thing half the time. It takes a lot. You got to sit down and think about it and then go, is the spell corrupt?
Yes, is the spell corrupt? This is coming from the first few centuries CE. Like this is very far after classical Greece. It is over 1,000 years after our buddy Homer. So I ask of you, what are we doing with that book? Like I know why I have that book as a historian because I have to teach it, but like why? Why are we going to
I
Barnes and
have
Noble?
it because I think it's fun, but
I do love a good like coffee book, a coffee table book, or like a
I think
fun
it's fun.
I
It's
think
for the
it's fun for like
girls.
for like a fun bookshelf, but I think I just don't understand the hype. I don't know
Yeah.
the mystery behind it. I don't know. Hear me out. I don't get it.
Hear me out. Topics that well, this is not the next one, but this is a lot what we're going to cover next year. And I think is exciting because, like I said, like back to what I said with the Olympians, it amazes me that people like don't really know them too much. And I'm excited because I'm excited to introduce you to them. I think you're going to love them here at Six and Bones. And I feel like I'm the PR rep for Zeus. Like, hey,
Hear me out,
leave him
Hecate.
alone.
Hear me out. Hecate is really only in like two-ish myths.
Hecate won't be partying with us at the holiday party. She is too busy taming the restless dead. So
She's too busy turning people into polecats.
she scares me. Okay, anyway, here we go. Holiday plans. What are your holiday plans this year? We're gonna take a quick. I'm waiting for that one piece of paper, but what are our holiday plans?
Holiday plans. I am actually staying on the East Coast this Christmas. Um, that's why my family stayed a little bit longer in Mexico so we could have like an earlier Christmas. But yeah, Christmas plans, hanging out, probably going to go see like lights, Longwood Gardens, that kind of stuff, cookie making, relaxing. And then in between relaxing, I am teaching a winter semester course and am trying to move and shake for Dirt Diaries and my own scholarly publication. So that's what I'll be doing. It'll be like hot cocoa, make cookies, go upstairs and hide in the attic, and don't leave until you finish writing.
Period. I understand.
What about you? What are your holiday
Um,
plans and any plans for Pluto?
Well, Pluto, for the holidays, we go to my parents' house and Pluto comes with me and he gets his
Mhm.
big king bed and my mom lights a fire for him because they have a fireplace. And I took a photo of it last year and everyone was dying because they were like, your cat, this would be Pluto's life. He just sits in his king bed. I got Home Goods, by the way, last year. It was amazing. It was $20. He's sleeping in it right now. He is the king of this castle. So we're gonna go to my parents' house. We usually just sit in our pajamas. We
Mhm.
used to do. I know a lot of you are like, well, aren't you have a big Italian family? We do. We're tired of them. We see them for Thanksgiving. My mom does a Christmas party after Christmas. We see them all
Yes.
again. We sit at home for Christmas Eve and
Yes.
Christmas in our pajamas, and I don't want to see anybody. I'm
Yeah.
tired. I'm
Yeah.
exhausted. You know,
I'm
like
I'm excited to host a smaller Christmas.
yeah.
Like for the last few years, it's been like when my sister and brother-in-law lived out here, my parents would come out so that it was both my family and Kevin's family. I'm just excited for a lot less people this year. I'm excited.
And I get like overstimulated because my family is so loud. Like we're recording for Thanksgiving right now and I am like I sometimes have to like I have to remove myself because it's not their fault. They're from New Jersey and they're just loud Italian people that just loud. They have to talk over you. They have to make their point. And I'm just like I can't.
I get that with Kev.
I just need headphones. Like
And it sucks when you're hosting a party and you're like, I can't fucking leave. I gotta
I
stay here.
Yeah, so no, I'm excited to have like a quieter holiday season. And once again, like I said, I'm preparing to write a book as well. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, like I said, but yeah, I'm gonna be locked in my room writing my thoughts.
You guys are not getting any secrets from me. I know. I'm not gonna break secrecy.
I believe in the evil eye, so I'm not telling anybody. That's
Coming
right.
at you. Coming at you. Giving you my own evil eye.
Speaking of which, one of my evil eyes broke the other day, and I was like, oh great.
Yeah, she came into work and told me. I was like, fuck.
My evil eye broke.
Let me
What
get the
else is
gun.
new? All right, ready for the next one.
I'm scared. I feel like I'm sitting on a bomb waiting
Oh,
for the is it the one? Is it the fucking one? Of course it is.
the bomb has been detonated.
I didn't pick the right wire.
How do you feel about Thieves? What are your Christmas plans and how do you feel about Thieves?
Have you seen the
Thieves.
Grinch? Have you seen the Grinch?
How do we feel about thievery? Thieves, very, very big. We could be talking about Hermes, god of the thieves.
Hmm. Hmm.
We could be talking about plagiarism. The world
I
is
don't
your
know.
own.
Where do you want to start? I mean, the spectrum's full, ripe with thieves. If you are to be
Well,
completely honest.
I feel like I'm gonna start because I posted something on my Instagram.
Oh yeah, you did. I forgot about that.
And I didn't want to post it to Sticks and Bones because we had not made like a joint statement. I know you had co-signed
That's
and
my statement.
you were like,
Same
yes, I
goes for
agree
you
with this.
double.
But like, we've got to be business professional. You didn't technically have any say in the statement I made. So I was like, I'm not going to post it. We have had an alarming amount of thievery happening between our store and also the podcast content we have. Plagiarism is on the
Oof.
rise here at Six of Bones Temple, and we are calling upon Hermes for the thieves, and the thieves have been thieving.
They've been thieving. And I think it's so funny because when, you posted, we were literally like giggling when we were texting each other about it and everything. Cause it's better to laugh than to cry. Um, it was literally paralleling with the plagiarism I have seen this semester from my own students.
Yeah, it's like a theme. Like plagiarism is on the rise, and
Eyes sweeping the nation.
we're not the only people that experience it. Like I
Yeah.
know I talk a lot. We've had Pocahontas on here before. Like she has also talked. We've talked about it in one of our podcast episodes. So I'm saying it
Yeah.
about like plagiarism and thievery. And let me tell you something. It's really disheartening, like that people will not credit us for the things that we say, and not only us, but the scholars that we are referencing, which is even
Yes.
worse because
Crazy.
our whole Eleusis episode I've seen has been taken by other people, and we credit the scholars in that episode.
Yeah.
Um, if we're
That
talking
was
about something ancient, like it's not me and 10 did not go to that site. You know me, I'm not digging anything, but like I am not the Dirt Diaries. Um, we didn't write anything on Eleusis. You know what I'm saying?
no. No. And I remember when it was kind of, was brought to our attention from some of the Styx and Bones devotees out there. It was really weird to literally hear your words coming out of somebody else's mouth, like almost verbatim, to the point where
Oh, it's a lot of people. It's a lot. It's like it's
I
I
want
didn't
to
even know it
start
was happening.
I want to start implementing like random Sticks and Bones pop quizzes to these people. Like, if you're gonna steal from me, who's the scholar who dug there? Where did this come from?
The reason why we're like so upset about it is because I don't think people know how much effort we put into this
Mhm.
podcast, and like we've been doing this for 3 years now, and we love teaching and educating. It's our job
Yeah,
to do so. I love talking about like random things that people don't know about, but it's upsetting when it's your business, it's your life's work, and there's nothing you could do about it when you see people plagiarizing your words word for word. It's not like they're here supporting Six and Bones or the
no,
temple. They are just profiting off it for their own personal gain, and it's like, first of all, this ain't my temple, so like y'all do what you need to do, but
yeah,
I work for Hades.
or even just like the topics that we cover, like some come from like my own lectures from my course that I teach.
Yes. Like
Like,
the
and I
sacred
think,
space stuff.
and I'm like, that is like the craziest like
It's
shit. Cause I'm
weird.
like, you're not paying tuition. Like, you're not taking any sort of lecture from me or anything. And it's so like you'll catch somebody like say something that like is like, I don't know, I don't want to say catchphrase, but like you're known for it. And you're just like, wait, is that me? I don't remember saying that. But it's
Yeah, it's
so
weird.
crazy. And it's, I see it heavily, especially, this past weekend, a archaeology conference was held, and I could not imagine presenting my work in my upcoming publication and not citing anything. I literally have 6 pages of citations for this one article.
Yep.
And I know for a fact that if I, added something, let's say I was like talking about, I don't know, ancestors in Mycenae, and I needed something from Chelsea's ebook, you bet your bottom dollar I'm citing that ebook, because I am not going to be caught with my pants around my ankles and literally have my academic career ruined because I was caught using somebody else's words, verbiage, thoughts, and ideas and claiming that it came from me. That is so terrifying, and just it's disgusting and not a good look. I could not imagine that.
Well, it's the reason why I haven't wanted to really publish anything for a long time. I'm dead serious about this because of the
Yeah.
plagiarism we see on the podcast. And I teach folk magic, which comes from my family, and I am afraid to publish anything on folk magic because I know it's going to be
Mhm.
plagiarized, which I can't control. But
Yeah.
it's so disheartening when you put your whole life's work into things and people can't even tag you or cite you or say, I was inspired by, right? Like, it doesn't make you any less if you're inspired by someone. We all are inspired by other
Yeah.
people. Like, it's very rare people have an original thought, right? Like there is really no concept of an original thought, but you can say like this inspired you or you really enjoy this person's like podcast or their work. So yeah, plagiarism's not cool. We know about it.
It's
All right.
gross.
We see it. We're not calling people out or saying who's doing it, but um it makes us sometimes not want to continue the podcast because we feel so disheartened by it of like, is there just no integrity even in our own space
Yeah.
of we are professionals and like of course we run a business but we do it because we like to do it. We
Yeah.
don't make a cent off this podcast right now. I'm hoping in the future that changes, but we don't make a singular dime
No.
off of anything. I'll tell you when we do. I'd be like, listen, keep those plays coming, but like we don't make a cent
Who's
off.
this? Who's this podcast episode brought to you by? I'm hoping for HelloFresh.
Hello Fresh, Sprite, sign me up. But like we do this because we enjoy it, and so The people
Yeah.
that are using it for profit, shame on you. And I'm leaving offering to Hermes.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I gotta say about Thieves. But anyway, sorry, didn't mean to take down a deep dark road. It's just we've been so busy that it was brought to our attention and multiple. It's not even just like one person or a group or people's. It's just so much. It's all over the place.
So much. And like, it is why like we take so much time to come out with like collections or anything. Like, oh my gosh, like I'll even give like a crazy example. Um, I'm blanking on the name of the painting. It's the women dancing in front of the fire.
Yes.
Very well known painting. I didn't paint it. But after we used it for like the mysteries collection in the spring of this year,
Yes.
that was all of a sudden everywhere. Everybody and their mother. And I was like, this is an obscure piece that like you have to do some digging for.
Right. That's why we
So
do obscurity because
that's you
we've had
have to.
so much plagiarization of like our own work and even with the products we make, it's disheartening. It's sad to see, but it happens. That's how you know you kind of like are somebody in this world is when people start plagiarizing you. So anyway, yeah, we know about it. We are just very professional people that are just going to, handle it behind closed doors. So that's that. Anyway, okay. And unfortunately, when it comes to like knowledge, like podcasting, you can't do anything about people plagiarizing a podcast. Like there's nothing that really.
No, they could cite the original source authors like we do. Um and yeah, it's crazy that it's the same people stealing from us who are also asking to be on our podcast.
Well, that was a bit of tea if I ever seen one. I'm like, oh man. Yeah, it's like, and I think that's why we're annoyed because it's the same people that want to be a guest, want to be introduced to our audience that we're just like, you have actually got to be kidding me. Like
Yeah.
you blatantly in my face are playing in my face right now. Like, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. We're spilling the tea, but like seriously, this is what happens. You guys don't realize, but we're end
Yeah.
of the year. I don't care. I'm going back to the underworld after this, going to sleep.
Yeah, the same people who are taken from you also want you to put them
Promote
on a
them.
pedestal. Yeah, no, get out of here. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get in the broom.
Okay, here we go. It's like people think we're stupid or something. Like that's why I get offended. I'm like, just because I'm blonde doesn't mean I'm dumb.
Just because
I'm
I was born
smart.
at night doesn't mean I was born last night.
You think the spirits aren't gonna rat you out? I already been knew you've been plagiarizing me. You're on my radar, and now you show up to my doorstep. That's what
You say their name 3 times. It's like Beetlejuice, man.
I know. I was like, who said Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times? Jeez, it's kind of scary. You're just like, wow, get
Oh
out
my,
here.
like actually a little bit of sprinkle tea. We were in the temple working and we literally said somebody who's, plagiarized, stolen, etc. Their name, I want to say at least 3 times, and then lo and behold, something happened, and we were like, "Are you what?" Bloody Mary's here. Go check the mirror.
If it's one thing you know about me, my ancestors are nosy. Buy my ancestry book. I'll teach you how to connect to your ancestors too, so you can also get the tea. Anyway, quick plug. Magic. The topic is magic. Anything you want
Oh,
to say about magic?
magic. I'm very, very happy that we got to do like a introduction episode to like what is ancient magic and what, really kind of grapple with how do the ancients view magic? What is that? Because I think it's going to play into like a larger series, which I'm really looking forward to in 2025 with Sticks and Bones, is to like have like bigger concept episodes like that to like break down like, what are we seeing here? And like, it's not accurate, but how can we do better? Kind of stuff. Like, that's what I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, to stand on business for this episode, magic, it's so fascinating, interesting. Continue to ask people what they're basing it in, and I will say chthonic magic ain't
Well,
anything.
my thing is there's no such thing as magic with King Hades. So I don't know
There's no
where is this
magic.
coming from? Like I see it a lot and I'm
I
like,
will
leave this man alone. He is
probably the Greek magic papyri.
yeah, but he's not entirely like he's not like a star player. And I think there was one possible reference to Hades in the Greek magical papyri, but that could be the realm. Doesn't mean it's the god. You know
I
what I'm
know.
saying?
I'm looking for my book right now. I think it
I'm
might be
pretty sure we
downstairs.
looked into it one time because we've had this question before and we were like, where's this coming from?
It
But
wouldn't shock
remember
me. It wouldn't shock me.
that Hades is not just the king of the underworld, it's not even his name. There's also the realm Hades. So like
What are we doing?
I offer you this. And instead, you got to know the difference between the two. Are we calling upon the god Hades? Because if so, but I don't do magic with Hades.
I think I don't know. I don't know. All
That's
roads
what I
lead
say about
back to the
magic.
Greek
No, but
magic.
I'm excited to explore more of these topics, like overarching topics of like how does that work, and like other aspects of magic maybe in the ancient world, because that magic episode was fun. I'm really happy we got to do it, and we hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it cleared up some like misconceptions, like of how it's viewed.
Yeah, it's not cut and dry. Like you have to get like real theoretical and
Magic is hard.
like even like reading Ogden's work on it, it's you the theoretical approaches he takes, it makes sense, but like trying to explain it to somebody else, like it is not easily understood. And I think that is the summation of ancient magic. It is not something that you just, wake up and do or look up on Google or get a spell off of Pinterest. That's not ancient Greek magic, ancient Roman magic at all.
No, it takes a lot more than that. So we're happy to expand on that in 2025. And yeah, I cannot even talk about magic anymore. I think I've just been talking about it all year, plus also like folk magic. I'm like, I got nothing
Yeah.
left to say. I
Yeah.
gotta go.
Gotta
Okay.
replay some episodes.
I think this is gonna be the last one, because the last one that's in here we've already kind of addressed, but
Oh God. Is it another big one?
no, this is a good one. So I think we can end on this note before we go back to our whole our favorite episode of 2024 here at Six and Bones.
I gotta pull apart the
Or
episode
like
list.
anything we've talked about.
Anything we've talked about, thematically, it's been a fun year. I thought I really was gonna like die when we stopped going every single week, but I
I
think
know
it's
you
allowed
really didn't want to stop. I was like 10.
10, let it go.
Let it go. We have to.
I think it was a lot more fun to, I don't, because there's a few that fall under this umbrella that I think I really enjoyed diving into mythology and like breaking it apart and modernizing it in a way that the masses can understand, or even, Wrath of the Gods, who got it worse. Like looking at these and trying to find a story to beat Chelsea and like the craziest myth or like who got it worse. That was so fun. Like,
Maybe we'll bring that back next year. Because I,
oh,
I I too like doing the mythological ones. I have to say the human sacrifice one, I think, was one of my
yo,
favorites
that was
this year.
fun.
That was a fun one. I think because while like we don't have like evidence of like Hades and Persephone actually taking a human sacrifice, there was a Roman myth about it though. So it's like, why did they write a myth about it? You know what I mean? Just because we don't have evidence doesn't mean it potentially didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I loved that so much. I like talking about those weird taboo topics because the gods are so like dynamic in how they act and how the ancients are viewing them. They're not just like one particular way. They
Mhm.
do like pin people against each other. They do pick favorites. They do have a wrathful side. They can feel bad for human beings and want to help them. You know what I mean? They are deceiving. And it's like it's just really cool, like the myths, and
Yeah, no, it's so
they
fun.
are displeased, like
Yeah, damn. I totally forgot we did human sacrifice. I would, it's so hard with like human sacrifice, as you said. I worked at a site that there was evidence of a woman being human sacrificed. But it's so hard to try and find evidence of it in this time period that we're looking at. But
yeah,
see it
it's
other
cool.
places throughout time. What is going to top human sacrifice as like a crazy episode topic? I don't know. That's pretty crazy.
I don't know. I'm looking through some of our episodes now. Oh, we also did the we're splitting up one where like that was when we decided people really tuned into that one because everyone thought me and Ten probably hated each other. I don't really like to do clickbait like that, but it was kind of funny.
No, that was so funny. And I remember like we had like made like a like statement ahead of time, like on Instagram. And
Yeah.
man, y'all really thought like you got Chelsea and I like caught in a fight or something. That was wild.
No.
Um,
I am very like
I did like ranking, like I did like the aspect of like looking at two mythological stories or like how we just did it with like the spells. That was fun too.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Well, the last one I wasn't going to open, but it was podcast guests, and I think maybe we can
Oh,
leave off on this note. So we get questions a lot about podcast guests, and we've had people ask us like we kind of made a little spilled some tea about the same people stealing from us or the same ones that want to be on our podcast. But we've also had really nice people with really nice books that seemed interesting asked to be on our podcast. And
yeah.
they are listeners of Sticks and Bones. The thing is that, like we've said, the only time now going forward we're going to have a guest is if they are some sort of scholar in what we're talking about. So, we've had a lot of amazing people reach out to us that have published books that are
Yeah.
knowledgeable on those topics. It just doesn't fit what we do and what we talk about with our audiences. So we have to make sure that, we are approaching it the right way. And like, I would love to have Daniel Ogden on. But the thing about scholars is like sometimes they're not good on podcasts, which Ten and I are also sometimes you could be bored. Like, you know,
Yeah, I really got to look up some like video files to like see how
we
he
got to
is
see.
in
But if
person.
we were, we would have somebody on to talk about like maybe curse tablets or like
Yeah.
necromancy in the Greco-Roman world that actually specializes in that topic. So that's where we're thinking of heading with podcast guests every once in a while.
Yeah.
Um, I would say, but yeah, we do get questions of like, can you have so and so on? Will you do this? Most
No.
likely, no. They would have to be a scholar in the field because there's enough misinformation. We have like a battle ahead of us sometimes with the things we say.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's like well said about guests. Yeah. A lot of it is like people wanting to come on with like books and everything. And yeah, unfortunately, like we wish, those people well who reach out to us who are doing like their own good work on their own. But, for people spreading misinformation about the god Apollo with chakras, don't wish that for you.
Yeah, it's also kind of weird because we do get a lot of like PR that reach out to us for podcast guests, but they don't actually know our podcast. Like so I
That's the
judge
weirdest.
if you're going to send us an email like I read the emails and I can clearly tell when someone never listens to our podcast because I'm like you wouldn't be asking to be on here because this is exactly the kind of work that we work against sometimes or we work to
Mhm.
discredit the misinformation. So it is very interesting when people are like, "Oh, I love your work." And then it's like, you don't actually listen to my podcast, you know? And like for the reason why we're saying this, it's not to be petty, but for the integrity of our audience and the historical information that we do teach on here is important, like very important to us. I don't care if the Pope wants to come on my podcast. He doesn't align with Sticks and Bones. You know what I mean? Like it's maybe on my podcast, sure, we can interview the Pope, but like
Unless we're like comparing like imagery of Helios mixed with the mystery cult of Mithras, with like the
Pope
cult
ain't
of
gonna know
Sol,
that.
with like early iconography of Jesus Christ. Like that's the only like hop, skip, and a jump way tangentially, but like
Right.
yeah, no, it's so weird getting those emails and then like being like, unfortunately, like it's just not a good fit. But it is weird because the people who will send us or want to come on our, thing for books or because they are somebody, um, they will never actually have us read their work.
No,
They
they
will
won't send
never
us the book.
they won't send us the book. We know that they've written a book. We've been asked about it. If you know, you know. And I always find that very interesting of if you want to be on the podcast, you like our work, why have we never, spoken well about your book?
Or you never sent it to us to do. And I'm not really in the business of doing book reviews, to be honest.
Nah.
Like that's not that I don't want to do that. Like that's not I have enough of it. We got book club to do for Patreon. But no, the people that actually don't fit our podcast content are the ones that I like and they're like, I want to send you my book. And I'm like, I wish I can have you on. It's just it doesn't fit into what we talk about. I get why
Yeah.
you reached out to us, but we're not talking about ancient Greek. You didn't write a book on ancient Greek religion. So like therefore, you
Yeah.
know, I can't talk about it, but like I would love to read your work. Like it seems
Yeah.
cool.
And I think that's the difference is like the people who want to have like the bigger conversations
Yeah, yeah.
about like larger concepts of like, just paganism in general. Like, great. I think that there needs to be like a broader community about that and bigger discussions about how we all can do better and everything. But everybody else, why are you stealing from us if you want to be on our podcast?
Yeah, please stop. Please. Another thing too, a little bit of tea from my own end is that I had a really big publishing house reach out to me recently that
Oh
wanted me
yeah.
to actually do book reviews for them on my platform. And it wasn't the publishing. I think publishing houses need to do better in terms
Yes, they
of
do.
people
They
they
do.
sign for books. Like it's very easy in the spiritual world to get your book published. Like, it's kind of just what I'm seeing. Like, I'm like, why would it be hard for me? Like, I see the kind of books that are out there. And I'm not even talking about in terms of the Greek gods. I'm talking about it as a whole. Like, there are a lot of books with a lot of misinformation. And it's not all of them. There are genuinely good authors out there. But I had a
Yeah.
huge one reach out to me recently. And when they gave me the catalog, for fall, I showed it to Dr. K and I was like, I in good faith have to turn this down completely. Like it was a paid opportunity.
I
I'll
was
tell
like,
you guys,
no, don't turn it down. Let's rip it.
I can't like, and I'm not that person that's
Yeah.
going to get on here and like rip someone's book because it's not correct. That's not my job. I have many of other things I need to do with my life, but they wanted to pay me for it. And I was like, I looked at the books and I was like,
Not impressed.
I am not
No.
reviewing any of these, to be honest with you, because why did you publish them? Like I was mad at the publishing house for being like, why did you publish this with like anyway, but Dr. K got to see the list and I was like,
Wow,
no.
that list.
The only reason why I was gonna do it potentially was because I wanted to see if I could just do the tarot decks because I love reviewing Oracle and tarot decks, but it's not
But the book's
really
tied to it.
you got to do the book. They want the books reviewed by people that have platforms online. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Can't put my stamp on this.
I can't. No, because we care about the information that our audiences receive from us because you guys obviously listen to us and trust us for the information that we do have, right? Like you come here because maybe some of you can't afford to take courses or you can't go back to school or
Yeah.
you don't have the resources to look up some of the things you're looking for. Or you just want to hear two gals get on here every week and talk about ancient Greek religion. I get it. But yeah, so integrity I think is what we're ending on of maintaining our own integrity. I don't care if that publishing house was going to pay me $1 million. I will not co-sign my name on something that is not correct or something that I would purchase myself. So when you ask us a lot about books and sources, if you're not seeing us recommend something, it's not because we didn't see it or didn't read it. It's because we can't put our good names on there. And that's no offense to the people that do, publishing, whatever. It just isn't, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So integrity is how we're going out this year. I know this was a little spill the tea time. It's not anything we've never said on a live before, like
Yeah, we didn't name names or point fingers, but I mean, if you know, you know. Any other, I'm trying to think of like any other tea to be like, and with that, goodbye.
other
Um,
tea.
what other topics I sent you that was there tea related to them?
I don't think so. I
I
mean,
don't,
when I say tea, this is all the tea that I have because I truly live in my own world and do my own thing. I couldn't even tell people were plagiarizing from us. I wasn't even looking for that. Like, it's not like, we're sitting here every day scouring the internet for like, oh,
no.
let's see. No, it just comes across my desk every so often. And I
Yeah,
know, like, it
we
doesn't
also,
bother me that much anymore. We've been doing this for a really long time. It's just sometimes I have to call it out where I see it because I'm just a girl from New Jersey and I'm going to tell you like it is.
yeah, I think I was gonna say, I think that's everything. Yeah, we randomly get it like either we'll see it on our own end or like somebody will actually like email us with screenshots, which like you guys are out there doing the God's work, but like
You don't have to do that for us. We do not, we
thank
don't,
you for your service. But
no,
we're aware there's I mean, it's the internet. How are you gonna stop plagiarism? I don't know.
no, it happens. Like I said, it's the biggest time that you've made it somewhere in this world is when people are looking to you as the big source of information for their own personal gain. It's just not cool. Like we don't plagiarize from other people. All my content's original to my own. Um, so is yours. Like you cite the scholars that you're talking about. So like,
I just talk about news articles, like citing the article. Like I'm not trying to be like, yeah, I just did a whole research study on Aztec death whistles. No.
right.
Hey.
I would be like, that's a little suspect. So yeah, just heading out this year with just a little bit of spice, a little bit of bang. But yeah, I'm gonna rest. Like I just want to oh, I have some tea. I made a casserole.
Oh, little late, but we
I
still did it.
made it.
How was it?
It's all I can do now. I get why people make casseroles. You remember in that one episode last year where I was like, why are people making casseroles?
Yeah, crowns and casseroles. Yeah.
I get it. I am a casserole queen. I've made my third one.
Mm,
It's so comforting and warm. And now I'm trying to make it less fattening because casseroles can get real crazy sometimes. Like, and
that's
I'm
why they
trying to
taste
be
so good.
healthy. But oh my God, I understand it now. I've seen the
Is
light casserole people.
is there like a pot pie casserole recipe? Like
Yes, there is. I've seen it. I love chicken pot pie. I was thinking of making a casserole. Um, I
it's like
feel
that.
like
It's pot pie weather is what it is.
I'm in my granny era. I'm cooking casseroles and like cozying up with my
Moo-moos.
snowman mug.
Moo-moos, casseroles, crones,
Yeah.
pot pie weather. That's what I want to be during our
I'm
break.
putting my sweats on after this. I dress up for the podcast, but I'm changing.
Oh, I got my mummy sweatpants on under here. Oh, I go for the mullet look. I'm business on the top, party on the below.
I'm tired. Like it's cold over here on the East Coast. So
I'm taking
I,
my lashes off after this.
yeah, right. We got ready to film because integrity, right? We're gonna show up here,
Lashless.
integrity, business professional. We are talking about the gods. We own a temple to the gods. I'm not gonna come up here looking like who did it and ran. I
Not
have to
gonna
look
come
a
out
certain
here
way.
in a silk robe and lingerie.
My veil is on. You know what I'm saying? I got my veil on. It's very annoying. It's annoying me today, but
Can you pin it? Will that help?
I have to. I have to get some pins. This one's especially like slippery.
Mm.
Um,
Could you put like a cloth on your head, like on
I'm
top, and then the
thinking
veil, and then like pin
I'm
that
gonna
on?
have to pin it. But
The girls got to know something about veils.
I know how to do it. It's just me being lazy. I just forget, and then I'm like, oh, I'm talking about Hades. I gotta put a veil on my head. I'm getting on Styx and Bones podcast. I gotta put a veil on my head. I don't need any complaints.
I just like you got to do like the cool little like put it over your head and then like wrap it around.
Yeah, I know, but my hair's too long. It's like a whole sensory experience over here. You guys think this shit's easy? Like it's all
Oh,
bothering me sensory wise.
you could do a low bun. That's what I usually do when I
Could.
got to go into like
Then I
sacred.
feel like I looked like George Washington. Like I look
No,
like a founding father with a low bun. I do not look cute with a low bun. I look like I'm about to sign the Declaration of Independence.
better yet, we're gonna steal it, national treasure style. Um, but anything else you want to add before
I'm
we
not.
end season? What season are we on? Three.
This is season 3, and I only know because I upload the podcast episodes. Season 3. Season 3, we're getting a little bit more spicy. The girls are like,
Girls
here's
are
a thought.
firing back. Fucking cite your source. I'm done. We're all adults here.
Yeah. We thank you for the fans here at Sticks and Bones, but anyway,
Oh,
and
I'm
we love
looking.
you guys. Thank you for your support for a third year in a row, or maybe you just found us.
Yeah,
We're not always this spicy in our takes, but we just wanted to have some fun, a little gossip for the
a little
day.
gossip sesh for as Spotify puts it. You guys are devotees to Sticks and Bones, so it ain't us
Yeah,
saying
they
it.
do actually do that.
Spotify Wrapped called you guys out as devotees, so shout out Spotify.
Listen, we're looking forward to next year. Like I said, I'm looking forward to more like Olympians. Because I cannot say anything else about Hades. People are like, more. And I'm like, there's nothing else. The guy is just, that's all he is.
You're gonna
He's
have to dig it up yourself.
actually not interesting.
You are literally going to have to go get a permit and dig it yourself.
This job is a dying field. You know what I mean? Literally. So, I'm looking forward to more Greek god education.
I'm looking forward to more myths, more
No more
mysteries.
Hecate either. I'm done with that. We've got nothing to say.
As I said earlier,
I got nothing to say.
was it grind my gears or the other one? Controversial, whatever it was. I stand on business here. She's really only mentioned a few myths and is from Anatolia. Let's put the cards on the table.
Let's talk about Apollo. You know what I mean? Let's talk about Hera. Let's talk about some crazy stories about her. Let's talk about the Greek heroes. Like that's what we do at book club. We're involved in Hera and some of the like Odysseus stuff. Um, we got to talk about like the things that are actually part of ancient Greek religion now,
Yeah. What's your favorite oil lamp style?
right?
Did you throw knuckle bones or not? This is what the people want to know.
We need to talk about it. We got to talk about it.
We did. We
We
got
talk
to talk
about my
about
good guy Hermes. Like I got his candle lit back here. God
We
of
gotta
merchants, God of travelers,
gave Apollo his
husbandry.
gave Apollo his lyre. We got to talk about it.
We got to talk about Athena, patron of Athens. We got a lot to talk about.
Sniped it from her uncle.
That's right. Aphrodite, Ares, like there's a lot going on over here.
Adonis, like, whew,
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe when it's her time of the year, we will.
go through that again. That pain and suffering.
We got a lot. There's a lot of things to look forward to. Trust me. We're not talking about Eleusis anymore either. I'm done.
It comes twice a year. If you miss it, you miss it. I'm sorry. It's a mystery cult. Stop talking about it.
We're gonna pave the way. My job is to make Zeus cool again as PR manager.
Let's see.
We
Is
should
there
make an episode called Make Zeus Cool Again.
is there anything fun about Zeus that I know?
That he was like number one to be worshipped.
I mean, there's that. I mean, his Roman counterpart is a lot different, and I don't think people really realize that. Oh yeah, next year, Greek and Roman gods, like there's a line, guys. Come on. Very
Right.
different.
Another thing too, last thing I'll say too, just because people are living in Italy doesn't mean they're not worshiping the Greek gods. We got a lot of backlash about Hestia in Pompeii, and people were like, no, it's Vesta. And we were like, just
No.
because people live in Italy doesn't mean they're not worshiping Greek gods. They could have lived in Greece and moved. They're so close. They're so close to one another. They could have heard stories about the Greek gods. Their family could have worshiped Greek gods. Like it
Greece
doesn't,
had Greece had colonies like
right. And like
Anatolia. There was
it's
Greek
very
worship.
interesting.
It's not like you land on the shores of Naples and there's like a force field, and all of a sudden Hestia can't get through, and her Roman counterpart Vesta's flipping her off on the other side, going, "Your offerings are mine, bitch." That's not how it happens.
No,
I'm
I know
so
it's very
sorry.
funny. So
People,
we'll
people
talk more about
travel,
that.
people move, they bring their art, they bring their religion, they bring everything with them. So, with
Yeah.
that being said, we are bringing you more myth, more mysteries, and more shenanigans next year. Oh my God, next year on Sticks and Bones.
You.
Good Lord.
See
But
you next year.
as the crowns descend back into the underworld, we're going to be gone for a lot of December, a little bit of January. But where can you find us? But Patreon. You can find us back in the mystery cult. We are finishing Ithaca in December. We have Realms of the Underworld, and High Priestess Chelsea and I are making votives together. We're
No, we
doing it the old
are.
fashioned way, and we are going to leave some votives to Asclepius. So join us over on Patreon. And until season 4, we will see you guys next time. Bye.